Hi, Year 5. So this is our acquire refine for our reading this week. It's kind of two lessons in one. We're going to have a look at analysing it, and we're also going to have a look at the questions in the same video today. Obviously, that link will change when I finish this video. But as we know, when we analyse, first thing we do is read to enjoy. So let's have a look at it. So it is Morning by Darren Brand. We're looking at a bit of poetry this week. Day came in on an old brown bus with two friends. She crept down an empty street, bending over to sweep the thin dawn away. With her broom, she drew red streaks in the corners of the dusty sky, and finding a rooster still asleep, prodded him into song. A fisherman, not far from the shore, lifted his eyes, saw her coming, and yawned. The bus rolled by, and the two friends caught a glimpse of blue as day spun around a corner to where the sea met a road. The sky blinked, woke up, and might have changed its mind, but day had come. Interesting one there. I'll be honest, there's bits of that I can kind of see what the poet was talking about, and symbolism and what things represent. And there's some parts that my brain's thinking I don't really get that. So here's what we need to do. We circle or underline anything that we're not sure of. Now I'm looking through here. I don't think there's anything in terms of vocabulary that we wouldn't know in here. So we know all these words here. Rooster, cock-a-doodle-doo. So it might actually be more questions. Today came in. So I'm going to do here. So why a brown bus? For all its beauty of the poem, why is it a brown bus? And then the other one I've got, two friends. So, but it only ever says she. She crept down, she drew red streaks, saw her coming, and then it's two friends again. So, who are they? I'm going to guess the she, but that will be one of the questions in a minute. We keep having a look. The broom drew red streaks in the corners of the dusty sky. So this bit here, I think that's talking about making the colours of dawn, colours of dawn. So there's dusty streaks. I like the idea that this one here, so she's made, the rooster call. I like that bit. Fisherman fast from sea. It's this bit here. I'm not too sure, and I'm just going to put a question mark there. I'm not too sure about this last bit. The sky blinked, woke up, and might have changed its mind. That's the bit I'm not sure of. So a little bit of a question mark in that bit, but not too much to annotate today, I think. It's just kind of sentences that make you think or give you a bit of imagery. So what do you think when you read a couple of these lines? She crept down the empty street. I've just missed one there. She crept down the empty street. Well, that's because it's so early. It's telling me that everyone's in bed. So just to go through it, day's coming in. Don't know why it's a bus. Don't know why there's two friends. But an empty street, so everyone's in bed. She's drawn red streaks. So to create the colours of dawn. That says down. That should be dawn. The cockerel's been made to call. There's a fisherman yawning. Is he at sea? Oh yeah, he's not far from the shore, so he's on a boat. And then we go back onto land, and that's the bit that the road goes towards the sea and the sky blinked. But day had come. I wonder if the sky blinked. I wonder if that's the sun appearing. Maybe it looks like an eye when it's in the sky. Oops. So, an interesting one there. Once you've done that, we're going to have a look at the questions as well in this lesson. So if you go on to the next slide, you can have a look at these questions. So you can pause the video here, have a little look. Don't forget the white ones, the colours are just a kind of a heads up. These ones might be easier or trickier. You can do them in any order. And your WALT is, well, we've got dot to deduction as our metamate. So we've got, we're going to be thinking about explaining about what we think. So I think this because, so I think what because of what it says in the text. And in the WALT, it's plausible inference, as we know, but it's an explaining impressions. Now remember, impressions is how it makes you feel, or gut instinct. So pause the video there, have a little look at the questions, and then we'll have a look together. So number 1, which is your favourite sentence? Explain why. That's purely an opinion. You can't have this one wrong. I do quite like the. I do quite like this one here. Finding a rooster and prodding him into song. So I do quite like that one. I'll do this one quick. Finding a rooster and prodding into song. Because I've got to put my reason. I've got to give why. It's like the more because it's like the morning controls or is in charge. There we go. Second one, what should we go? Oh yeah, I think this one's important. Number 2, let's go for this one here. So number 2, who is she? So they're on a bus. She crept down an empty street. She draws streaks on the dusty sky. She pokes the rooster awake. Surely the she. So I think she is the sun. Ooh, because everything she does can be linked to what happens in the morning. Ooh. There we go. It's a bit of personification, isn't it? Number 3. Let's go for this one here. So number 3. Keep flicking it over. There we go. The fisherman has, and I've given you a multiple choice one here. You've just got to explain your answer. Been up very early fishing and fallen asleep. Been up very early and he's watching the sunrise, or just waking up to start fishing. So, a fisherman not far from shore lifts his eyes, saw her coming and yawned. So the fact that he's out at sea means he's already there. I suppose you could sleep on your boat. Lifting his eyes, that could mean he's awake, he's asleep. Could mean he's looked up. Me personally, could be any of these. You just got to give good justification. Okay, so it could be he's been up very early fishing and fallen asleep because he's already out at sea, but he's lifted his eyes open to look at the morning. You could have that. It could be B. It could be he got up very early as he's out at sea already, and he's lifted his eyes. He's lifted them up to look at the sunrise. Or it could be just waking up to start fishing. It could be that he's asleep on his boat and the morning has woken him up. I think you could have any of those answers there, as long as you've given a good explanation. The last one here, number 4. Why do you think the poet has used a bus in this poem about morning? Now, I was really confused about why it's a bus. I don't necessarily know why it's a brown bus, but it got me thinking. I might be completely wrong here, but a bus is scheduled, isn't it? Buses come every day. You know, it's timetabled, should be like clockwork. And that's what morning's like, isn't it? So every day the bus comes along, and it brings people or takes people away, and so does the morning. So personally, I think I'm going to put I think it's because buses should be timetabled, regular arrivals. And so is each morning. Like, we know what time sunrise is going to be. We know what time the bus should arrive. That's my own thought. Well done with those. I think there's some tricky ones in there, as usual. And a poem can always be a little bit trickier, especially when you look back at the annotations. You might not have a huge range of ideas straight away. I think the questions also help you think about the poem a little bit more. But remember, as long as you've got the I think this because it says this, you can't go too far wrong with that. So well done, guys. Fantastic.